guys? It's your girl Prissy Solo, and I'm here to do a story time because y'all favorite videos is when I'm telling my business, okay? And in the words of Funky Dineva, you always tell your auntie you don't never let a bitch spray you with your own tea. And even though I'm telling stories that might not ever have came out otherwise, they're still really fun to hear. So I'm just gonna go ahead and share it with you guys because y'all already know I fucks with y'all. So let's get on to it. So this is the most embarrassing thing that has happened to me, you guys. So back in the day, I used to work at a club called the Sugar Factory. And when I say back in the day, I'm really talking like back in the day. And so the Sugar Factory wasn't really exactly what it sounds like. It wasn't sweet, okay? The Sugar Factory was, I wouldn't want to call it a hole in the wall because it was like a step up from a hole in the wall. So you got the hole in the walls and you got like a step up from the hole in the wall. So the reason why I say it's a step up from the hole in the wall, because although it did not look like a hole in the wall, it was really outdated. Like they did not put money back into the club as far as like repairing chairs or fixing things, or it was just like an older club, and I guess they figured they were just gonna cash in on all the money or whatever that was coming in opposed to putting it back in the club. So anyways, so at the Sugar Factory, I used to be a stripper. I don't know if I said that part already. I don't remember. This is why, you know what, never mind. So and I used to wear wigs, and well, I still do, as you can see, okay, but my wigs was different back then. So when I was wearing wigs, it wasn't really popular like how it is now. There's so much stuff that I used to do that's now so big, but it did not used to be popping. So we didn't like glue down our wigs back then. Like you did not. The most that ever had came out at that point was probably like double-sided tape, and I had a bad experience with double-sided tape. So I just never used double-sided tape. I used to just literally like put my wigs on. And that was it. Like, that was like nobody was gluing got to be glued, or nobody was gluing their wigs down. Like that's just not what you did. There was something else that women did, and it was using safety pins, but I didn't do that either. I just literally would put my wigs on. So anyways, I used to dance at this club alone. As always, y'all already know, Prissy Solo, gang gang, we solo dolo. And so there was one stage, and at this club, you basically had rotation. So you just can't just go hopping up on a stage. Like there would be 20 something girls, and we had a rotation. Well, I can't remember if it was a Friday night, Saturday. I don't know what day of the week, because this is back when this was my only occupation. So I would work Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, you name it. I was there. So I don't really know what day of the week it was. At this point, I probably had been dancing maybe less than a year. Maybe 7 to 8 months probably. And I was a young girl, so but I was always very confident. Even starting out, if I wasn't really confident, I would just fake it till you make it. You know what they say. And so I used to always have these little cute outfits and stuff. And I back at Sugar Factory, you could choose your songs. Like nowadays, I'm like watching a lot of girls' lives and stuff when they dance, and you don't choose your music, which is crazy because if I don't get to choose my music and you're not playing what I want, then you're not getting tips. But hey, I don't got to deal with that, so that's just my opinion. But because different dances are for different folks, and I'm in California, so this is not like Georgia, or like certain clubs where like you have like predominantly black clubs and you have like predominantly white clubs. In California, it's just a big mixture. Just like our radio stations, we listen to music, it's just a mixture of everything. That's just how it is in California. You got a mixture of everybody, so your music is different. You know what I mean? Your clientele is different. You got every type of nationality. With girls, it's not predominantly nothing. It's just a mix. So anyways, that has nothing to do with the story. I just want to paint the picture for you guys so you guys can kind of get a feel of the club. So the club had one stage, and around the stage was called the tip rail, and there was chairs around the stage, and then you also had tables and chairs, okay, in the bar in the back, of course. So now y'all got the kind of All right, so it's my turn to go on stage. Before I go on stage, I tell the DJ when I want to play. He gets to playing it, and I get to walking up the steps. And as I come walking up the steps, I'm sashaying onto the stage, and I start doing my thing. Now, I like legit at this point used to have like a stage set. Like I used to have a routine. Now, granted, I'm not always doing the same routine all the time, but this is back when I used to really dance. And when I say dance, I mean like I never was like a pole work type of girl. I was just always really good at dancing. So I could move my body, and I had, a few moves from my experience of working. And so, being there regularly, I kind of had my own, stage set basically. So I'm doing my stage set. Everything is going fine. But I get to a point on my stage set where I used to get on the ground, right? So imagine the pole is right here. So this is the pole. So imagine if I slide down on the pole, right? And I go all the way to the ground. So now I'm on the ground. My head is literally on the floor like this. And I'm up, now I got my legs up. Let's see if I can still, I haven't even stretched. So, okay. So, but my head is all the way down though. So this is the ground. So I'm up, I'm doing my little legs, and I'm doing, I'm just doing my thing. Okay, so this is where things get tricky. So I go to get up. So now just as I came up like that, I go to come up. Except for when I come up, I just come up. My wig is on the ground. My wig is still on the floor. Now, this is what happened. So, like I told you guys, it was like it wasn't a rundown club, but they would not repair anything. And everybody knew that at the pole, there was a loose screw at the bottom of the pole. You got to, with any place, you got to like screw in the pole into place. Well, there was this loose screw. So, some girls sometimes like they would fall out their heels because they might have hit it. Me on this hand, the screw got caught in like my weft of my wig, and basically when I came up, because I didn't have no safety pins or no glue or anything like that, I just came up and my wig stayed on the ground. And I just, so let me tell you guys something about me with my wigs on. It's very rare that I got like fresh braids. Like, I'm one of the people that like leave my braids in for a really long time. I know it might sound nasty, but like my hair grows a whole lot when my hair is dirty, or like when I leave my braids in for a while. So I don't like constantly get like a new braid up or nothing like that. And I'm not as confident as I am now, like as far as like taking my wig off. Like I legit, you guys, put my wig on for y'all, but like on a normal basis, my wig is up in the closet. Like for real. But back then, it was wig all day. So when I came up and my wig was on the ground and I realized what happened, you guys, I just got up and ran. I didn't grab my wig. I didn't grab my money. I had money on the see, that was why I was trying to tell y'all about my stage set. I had a little cool little stage set. So there was some money on the stage. I left all of that and I took off running off the stage. I legit like got up and ran. And when I ran, there's, I'm so as soon as you come out from the stage thing, the stairs, there's the dressing room. So the girls are like, what's going on? So the manager immediately saw what happened. He comes straight from the back, straight to the back, because he was on the floor. So he walks straight to the back. And like the other girls are like, what happened? What's going on? And so this one girl, I cannot remember her name to save my life, so I'm gonna call her Sativa. Sativa was a real one, because Sativa went on my stage set, and she went and grabbed my wig from me. She said to me, she came back and she said, "Girl, what did you run for?" As she passed me my wig, here, what you run for? You should use it, but you got money back out there, whatever. You need to finish, like, whatever. So I legit, you guys, put my wig on and went back out there. But when I went back out there, I didn't want to dance no more. Back then, I can't remember if we had 2 songs or 1 song. So that probably happened on the first song. And by that time, it was already starting the second song. Baby, I went and picked up my money with my wig on my head. I remember this dude must have felt bad for me because he came to me and he said, "It's okay, baby." And he gave me some money. He gave me some money. I took his money, I took my money off the ground, and I respectfully walked up off that stage again. I did not want to finish. So then now all the girls know what happened. The manager's back there. He like, "Man, why you ain't make sure that thing was secured and stuff?" He like, "What what you supposed to make sure it's secured?" Another girl like, "Girl, you supposed to safety pin it down. You supposed to put safety pins all up in your wig and stuff, whatever like that." Because I wasn't the only one. So even though wigs were rare, I wasn't the only one wearing wigs. You know what I mean? Like, it was rare. It wasn't as popular as it is now, but I wasn't like the only person wearing wigs. So she was like, "You're supposed to safety pin it down." Everybody's like, another girl was like, I wouldn't have kept dancing. She's like, the show supposed to go on. You supposed to keep going. Like, she goes like, men they would pay you for, having that confidence. Like, damn, her wig came off and baby started swinging it in the air and started dancing. But back then, a younger Prissy, I was not about that life. I was not about that life. Like, nowadays, like in certain situations, if something happened, I'll probably snatch my wig off before I let another motherfucker snatch it off of me. Like, I don't care now. But back then, it was humiliating. It was crazy. So I legit wanted to leave, but the dancers, which was so crazy because back then these hoes didn't even used to talk to me. Granted, I didn't really talk to them neither, but I'm the type of person, you talk to me, I talk back. But they wasn't even like friendly. They used to like cut daggers on the side of my head, so I didn't used to talk to them hoes. But they all were just like, banding with me. I guess they really felt bad. So they were like, "No, you stay, just stay." So I probably stayed in the back for like 10 minutes, you guys, getting the pep talk from all the girls to stay and not to go home and to just go back out there. And luckily, you guys, in the span of 10 to 15 minutes, you guys, I kid you guys not, between 10 to 15 minutes, by the time I had went back out there, I changed my outfit too, by the way. I wanted to kind of switch it up. I didn't want to be the girl who just came off the stage and her wig was on the stage. I don't even know, like, to this day if like anybody took any of my money or anything like that. Because you like stripper 101, you always get your money first, okay? You always, even when I went, you always get your money first. So even if I had my cornrows out, I should have still been picking up my money and then went on about my business. But my first reaction was just to run. I was so embarrassed. So between 10 to 15 minutes, by the time I changed my clothes and everything and had the little talk with the manager and had everybody, because their manager was like, "Don't leave, don't go." The dancers. So when they talked me into staying and I went out, I kid you guys not, it was like a whole new room of people. Like, everybody that was just there was just like, they were gone. Like, I remember at one point bringing it up to a customer and they were like, "No, I didn't see that. Like, when was this? Like, when this happened?" Like, they had like came in not that long ago. There was, I don't, if there was anybody that was still there, it was probably just like maybe a sprinkle of 1 to 3 people, but mostly only people that actually knew that had what took place was the staff, basically. If you worked there, you knew, but if not, it seemed like, because there's usually a shift change in customers and dancers between like day shift and night shift. And although we were already into night shift, it was pretty early. So you have people that come to the strip club pretty early because they don't want to get caught up in that whole like, when it gets kind of like later in the night, whether they got work or they got wives, they don't stay at the club too late. And then you have a new group of people that usually will come the later it is, later on in the night or whatever. So that pretty much is what happened. So I ended up staying, you guys, and I ended up working. After that, I don't recall if I safety pinned my wig from now on after that point. I'm not sure. I know I did it a few times and I just didn't really like it too much because when I'm ready to take my wig off, I'm ready to take my wig off, and then all those safety pins, and sometimes you'll forget about one. So let's say you get all of it off and you got halfway and then you got to try to find where this damn safety pin is. So I did it a few times just because off of GP, like of learning my lesson. And then after that, I was just like, no, I'm not about to keep safety pinning my wig down. Like, I'm just not going to be taking my time. I got to change my stage set, basically. I'm just not going to be on the floor no more, period. No more on the floor for me until these motherfuckers fix this damn stage. You guys, there were so many different things that was wrong with that club. Like, they legit did not put money back into that club. Like, How hard is it to get a drill and drill down the nail? Down, like, come on. Seriously. Bitches is losing their wigs out here. Anyways, that's the most embarrassing thing that has ever happened to me. I hope you guys enjoyed my story time. Be sure to like, comment, and share. And until next time, later.